You said a lot, but we're gonna get a little bit more deeper into it because I'm a black
Mhm.
man, you know,
Mhm.
and um, once I decided to address my mental issues and some of the things and incidents that had happened in my past, I really started to, there was no turning me back around from addressing mental health,
Mhm.
my personal mental health. Um, So in my findings, and this is just me being transparent about it all. I'm not going to get into too many details, but I will bring up race and I will bring up socioeconomic status as
Yeah.
it relates to, you know, I'm going to say I'm a black man. I so black people, but any people, they're all types of different type of poor, broke, depressed people. But
Mhm.
I'm only speaking my reality and the reality of our community as black people and the things that we don't address, you know. Because growing up, it was just like, oh, she crazy, he crazy. Don't you mess with them, they crazy. It was
Mhm.
like we didn't we didn't necessarily separate ourselves from friends and family, but we just acknowledged the quote unquote crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
so how do what do you I don't want to pull race cards too much, but I do want to be real about the effects of mental health on the black
Well,
community.
by us both, we're both, we come from a black household, and so that's what we can really speak on, honestly. And it is, the black community, especially growing up, and just hearing other people, talk about it. No, I mean, it was a lot of stigma with mental health. Like, as I mentioned, I had an uncle who he was bipolar schizophrenia. Um, and but I nobody really knew the actual term for his illness, right? Unless they were like caring for him. Otherwise, other family members, they're just like, oh, he's crazy, that's that crazy uncle, he just be, you know,
Right. The crazy
tripping,
uncle.
or
Right. Right.
yeah, the crazy uncle, or I had other family members. And even still, it's like you see these all these different people in your family having certain mental health conditions. No one is speaking up about this. No one is having an actual like
Discussion.
discussion, like, hey, so and so is dealing with this. Maybe we need to start really thinking about what is going on, like why so many people in our family are having these issues. So yeah, it was like a lot of just, oh, they're crazy, you know, laughing and really laughing at people because you
Right.
don't
Right.
understand and you're really ignorant to what's really going on. And
Right.
let's just be clear, like no one asks for no one asked to be to have a mental health condition.
No, not at all.
It's not something you
No.
ask to have. I mean, it's a very exhausting it's very exhausting. And it can ruin it really can ruin someone's life depending on how severe it is. So I, with you, like it really took, and that's why I really wanted to educate myself, educate myself. And really, once I started doing that, I wanted to educate other Black people, family. I started talking up to family things because I'm like, listen, y'all, this is a serious issue. And really started educating. And it's funny because when I did start speaking up about things, I started to notice a shift in how my family communicate with each other about it, and things like that. So it really starts at home. It starts with family. I think a lot of things, and you and I, we've talked about trauma, right?
Right.
And a lot of everything starts when you're young,
With
to a certain
trauma.
extent. It
Yeah.
starts with your family, it starts with your household.
Right.
Um, your first traumatic experience could be right in your household when you're young, and these are things that you may bog down
Hmm.
until, like, all of a sudden you're 21 or 22, and something happens. It could be another traumatic experience that just
Trigger. Yeah, that's the
triggers you,
word. Yeah.
and so all of a sudden now your reaction to this is totally different than what it was, years ago, because now you're just like, oh crap, but these are things that you have to, you really, it's really important that you understand your family's health history. Ask questions, really ask questions, and ask about that crazy aunt, ask about that crazy uncle, like really get in their business, because it can be genetic. It could be something that you pass down, like, you know, they've passed it on to their kids. But what if that was passed on from, what if my grandparent had it, right? What if it's passed on, what if my mom has,
Wh-
something, and
which
she
is
doesn't even understand, and she's passed it down to me, so it
absolutely.